Hi, welcome. Today's day one of my instant cycle process. Last night I brought in this 220-gallon 7-foot aquarium and got it basically set up, and now is the day today to get it going. So first of all, it's not level, so I pulled out some leveling shims, and that front right corner was pretty low, and the whole tank was leaning forward a little bit. So it took 2 shims on the right corner and 1 shim on the rest of it. Now, this has been sitting in a warehouse for who knows how long, so cleaned out all the bugs and leaves and garbage and cleaned it up a little bit, and brought in the sand substrate that I'll be using for this aquarium. So I got 5 bags of sand, and you're going to see I'm going to use part of it in here and also a bunch of rock. This is Sufa rock. It's related to Texas Holy Rock. Definitely something to help buffer the pH. So dumping in some new pool filter sand here. I got 3 bags dumped in, and I'm starting to put in the wood and the rock. And none of the stuff that I put in so far at all has any bacteria in it or has been in an aquarium. So none of this is new, I should say, got bacteria. However, right now I'm moving over a filter from an old filter from an aquarium right next door, and I'm just setting that on there. This is a hang on the back filter, AquaClear 1 AC110, and then I'm setting up a new AquaClear 110 on the existing tank. So I realized after I did this that I should have just set up the new filter on the new tank and moved the substrate over, but that occurred to me after. So it is what it is. I've done it already. So I set up the new AquaClear 110, which is just a matter of putting the hose in place and priming it and leveling it. So really easy. Got that plugged in and running, and then I noticed I had a water leak. I got about a ½ inch of water on the floor here from a leak in the back of this tank. So fortunately for me, it wasn't leaking in some seam or something terrible or problem like that. The only problem was the bulkheads that I put on there to block the holes that were pre-drilled in this aquarium weren't tight enough, or something to that effect. As you can see, there's water dripping out of there. So I tightened the bulkheads with a big pair of channel locks, and I put Teflon tape on the little screw-in tips on that. So probably should have done the Teflon tape in the first place. And the bulkheads, I tightened them hand tight. I guess that wasn't enough, so tighten them down, and thank goodness it worked. So minor emergency averted there, and as you can see, I'm always prepared for water in this room because incidents like this have happened probably 20 times or more. So a little bit of water on the floor is no big deal if you got a good fan, a couple of towels handy, and the floor is fully waterproof. Don't want to leave it too long. So I'm swapping the filter substrate. This is where I finally got smart, and I pulled out the filter substrate and some of the goopy water from the FX6 and put it into the new FX6. FX6 setup is easy, by the way. Comes with 1 hose. You just cut it in half, and the end with the plastic knob on it, you put that on the valve and put a little hose clamp on there. And once you got the 2 hose clamps on those 2 ends, on the other end you're going to put the intake and the outlet, and they just snap in place. So really easy. And there's a little thing that hooks over the side of the tank, and you pop the hose over the top of that, and there's 3 clips that hold it in place, top, back, and front, and get that going. And here's my new FX6 here, and you can see I'm putting the old filter in there. So the old dirty one full of beneficial bacteria is what I'm using. So the theory here is that with all of this bacteria, beneficial bacteria, it's already ready to handle the waste of uneaten food and fish waste. So just bringing over as much beneficial bacteria as I can, and then I'll take the brand new filter trays here and the sponges and put those in the old FX6. So the old FX6 gets perfectly clean, and the new FX6 is pre-dirty. So I think it's a great plan. I've done this kind of thing many times before, and it always gets things jump started when it comes to the cycle. So now I'm dumping in some live sand. This is from one of the 210s across the way, and you can see I'm replacing it with new sand. So same thing over on this tank here. I'll just be scooping out about maybe 20 pounds or so of sand and sticking this in a bucket, and I'll just dump that bucket into the new aquarium. Once I've got it in the new aquarium, I'll spread it around, mix it with the existing sand, and that should give us enough beneficial bacteria that it'll really jumpstart cycling this tank. I would guess it'll only take probably 48 hours or so for it to cycle. So it looks pretty cloudy there on the right now, the new tank, and lights out is 9 o'clock, so at this point all the lights automatically turn themselves out, so I turn in until next morning. So next morning we can see it's looking quite a bit clearer. It is still far cloudier, and you can tell there's bacteria bloom like crazy. Whenever you see that cloudy look, it's not that your water is dirty, it's just that you have bacteria that is not balanced. And bacteria bloom is easy to differentiate between just murky water. It just has a whole different look to it. So these are the fish that are going to be going in there, my Tanganyikans. So they're very excited about their new home, and probably maybe 1 or 2 days this will be cycled enough for them to go in there. And I'll probably install one more filter on there, maybe a new one, maybe not. Got some plants and whatnot. I'll be putting a bunch more rock in there and rearranging and aquascaping. But hope you liked today's video, and hope you get the concept of instant cycling. Hope it works for you as well as it works for me.